And Steve Kearney back at the studios. Nice job back there as we welcome you into the GVSU Basketball Insider. Reminder, this Thursday night at the Deltaplex, downtown Thursdays, we want to see you out there. The men play at 6 o'clock, followed by the women following them at 8 o'clock. I'm Jeremy Bolker along with Jake Levy as we welcome in the spark plug for the last couple of games for your Grand Valley State Lakers. Number 2, Jake Van Tubbergen to the program. And Jake, so happy to have you along, man. How are you doing?
Glad to be here. I'm doing pretty good, though.
Well, hey, congratulations, too. The last couple of games, are you feeling it? Because it seems like that on the court.
I've just been put in good opportunities by my teammates and coaches are really helping me out. So it's been a lot of fun, though.
Well, talk about coaches and being in the right opportunities. Is you're a West Michigan native here, and if you could, you've run across some really good coaches along your timeline, and parents and brothers. We want to ask about that. But if you could, how'd you get to Grand Valley?
Well, my recruiting process, it was kind of slow, to be honest. And then Coach Johnson, Coach Wesley came along, started coming to our games and talking to them, and I just had a great time with them. Really connected well here. It was close to home, and it just was the right fit for me.
Well, it seems like that family connection. It does. I mean, a lot of guys do stay closer to home because you have two brothers that went to schools in Michigan. Who are they? What are their names, and where did they go?
My oldest brother Tyler, he played football at Western Michigan, and my other brother played football at Wayne State. So
just going to Wayne State right there last week, they had to bring back some pretty cool memories for you going to watch your brother play, and now you get a chance to play in that same area.
Yeah, he was actually there, so it was pretty neat for him to finally come watch me play in one of my first few college games, so it was pretty neat.
Now, you didn't get to play really until you guys went down to Florida, so we'll talk about that a little bit, that first collegiate experience. What was it like in that Lynn game? You finally get to get out on the floor, you hear your number called as you go walking into the court. What was that like for you?
That was pretty surreal for me. I was pretty nervous, I ain't gonna lie. I think in my first pass, it got deflected out of bounds, so once that first pass was out of the way, I was ready to go.
Now, offense is more thinking, and you're kind of getting into that rhythm, but defense, you just kind of play out there. And you had a few steals already, also drawing some charges. A lot of people, when they see your numbers, they see what you did in high school. They see all the great, flashy offensive numbers. How much do you pride yourself on being a defensive-minded player as well?
Well, Coach Wesley preaches defense, and if you don't play defense, you're not going to get on the floor. So I really try to follow along what he says.
Going 7 for 8 from the floor, though, if we turn to the offensive end, does that do anything for your confidence saying, hey, I know I'm just a freshman, but I can play out here?
Yeah. I mean, 7 of 8 is great, but I'd rather be 8 of 8. So.
Nice. Coach and Taylor, they're nodding along in that, too, as they're eating the Jets pizza along here. Yep. But, no, that is good. If you could, where you learned some of your gameplay, it had to be because are you the youngest of everybody, of the brothers? Or?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Growing up in the driveway, playing with my older brothers, that really helped me along a lot because they always try to beat up on me, but they don't stand a chance anymore.
Well, they were football guys. You're a basketball guy. Did you play football in high school as well?
Yeah, up until my sophomore year, but I really tried to focus on basketball after that.
Well, if you could, at what point did you start beating your brothers in basketball?
I'd say probably the beginning of my senior year.
Okay, senior year of high school here.
Yep.
And was it in one-on-one then that you were able to start beating them too?
One-on-one.
And if you could, from a age standpoint, how old are they and how tall are they compared to you? And what are you officially listed at?
I'm listed at 6'6", but I think I'm a solid 6'7". So.
Okay.
He was calling out the media guy.
Yeah. But, they're both about 6'4", and one of them's they're both in their mid-20s. So,
okay.
I mean, a lot thicker than I am right now, but we're hoping to change that.
Yeah, we're going to work on that. Don't you worry. You got time to get in the weight room. Now let's talk about what's coming up on Thursday, Jake, because we got downtown Thursday. You guys are going to go to the Deltaplex, get to play at the home of the Grand Rapids Drive on a pretty much NBA court. I know you've gotten a chance to practice there a couple of times. What's that experience been like for you so far?
That's been pretty cool. I mean, just being in that surrounding is pretty cool. Like, I've actually never been there, so practicing there for the first time was pretty sweet.
Are you a Pistons fan?
I am.
Who's your favorite Piston of all time?
Of all time? I'd have to say Chauncey.
Okay. You get yourself a little face mask and stuff, too, so you can look just like him? I hope not.
But, right.
But so how cool is it? Because, I mean, you look at that court, in Grand Rapids at the Deltaplex. It looks just like a Pistons court. To step out there and feel like you're a Piston.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, it should be exciting. This will sort of lead us to. We've gotten to ask a number of your teammates some different questions. We call it the full court press. So, what are you most intimidated? What are you most intimidated about playing on a court that you've never played on before?
I'm just hoping I don't airball my first shot because
what is the most intimidating place that you've played in your young career so far? Doesn't have to be college. It can be high school, obviously.
Intimidating? Oh, that's tough. I'd probably have to say my first college game, to be honest, even though it wasn't really a big atmosphere, but it was just the whole first college game for me. So otherwise, I've never really been nervous to play in front of anybody.
He doesn't get intimidated. Come on, Jeremy.
Yeah. Number 2, Jake Van Tubbergen joining us here on the GVSU Basketball Insider. And what would you say is the most worn-out song on the radio right now?
I honestly have not listened to the radio in so long. I couldn't even tell you that.
But nobody heard that over at iHeartMedia. All right, how about most overplayed song on somebody's iPod or something?
Oh.
Anything with the song that you're sick of?
I'd probably have to say the Lil Uzi Vert song, All My Friends Are Dead, or whatever it's called, the EXO Tour Life. I don't like that. It's overplayed.
Well, we'll have to see if Brandon back there at the station, or Steven, excuse me, back there at the station can lead us out with that song or something like that as the bumper. Last emoji that you used?
Definitely the laughing face.
Okay, laughing face. Yes. What was your last social media post?
Probably from Media Day on Instagram from when we took our team pictures.
Sausage or pepperoni on your pizza?
Pepperoni.
And an NBA player that most resembles your game?
Oh, that's tough. I'd like to say Kevin Durant, but I know obviously I'm not near as good as he is. He's a great shooter. I'm not quite there yet, but that's who I like to model my game after if I had to pick anybody.
Well, that kind of makes sense because when Kevin Durant was coming out of college, the one knock was that he wasn't all that big up top, but he certainly played it. So that does kind of fit for you in terms of the model right now. For now, though, you got a couple of years to fill it out.
I got a lot of work to do to even come close to that. So
just keep making those shots, keep playing defense, man.
Sure.
Last thing, we'll leave you with this. If you could change anything about your roommates, what would it be?
Oh, nothing really. I don't have a problem with any of them. So
we'll see in a couple years when we talk to you about how many people he's going to call out. It'll be fun to see your progression. It'll be fun to see. Well, hey Jake, thank you so much for joining us. Continued success. We enjoy watching you play, and looking forward to a successful rest of the season here.
I
okay.
Appreciate that. Thanks for having me. It was a great time.
Thanks, Jake. We'll be right back here on the GVSU Basketball Insider with head coach Rick Wesley on the Grand Valley Sports Network.